Hi, I'm James, and I thought today we'd actually have a look at building a small force for starting out in 7 Days to the River Rhine. Now, 7 Days to the River Rhine is really simple from the perspective of this. There is no set force. The only rules are you have to have an infantry or support stand for every APC. So you can't have extra APCs, and you can only have half as many support stands as you've got infantry. That basically is the army list rules covered. So I thought I'd start off by looking at building a very basic force, something that you could assemble over a weekend. So I'm going to use the British force first of all. So we're going to start with some chieftains, the Mark V, which costs 58 points. And we're going to go for a troop of 4. So that's quite a few points used up there. Let's do a quick calculation. That's 232 points. That's an awful lot of points. So that's not going to generate a lot of command, so we're going to add some extra in as well. I always, starting out, want some reconnaissance vehicles. So we'll add in 4 reconnaissance. So we've got 2 scorpions and 2 scimitars. And yep, they are the same scale. So looking at that, the scorpions cost 19. And sorry, scorpions cost 20 and the scimitars cost 19. So I should really have worked out the maths on this. So we had the 4 armoured vehicles coming to 232. So 232, add in the 2 scorpions, 272, 272, that's 310 points. And then the last bit I'm going to add to this, just to give it a little bit of variety, I'd probably start with just using that as a force. My next expansion would be to add in some anti-tank vehicles. So I've gone for a pair of 438s. They cost 26 points each, so there's another 50 points there. You can see very quickly we're building up a nice little force. This is plenty to be starting gaming with. Now what I'm then going to do is expand. Now the rules for infantry are a little bit more complex, so I thought I would add the infantry in next. And you've got 2 options really with the British infantry. We can either go for the 510 warrior or the 432. Okay, oops, loose part there. I'll sort that later on. Now the 432 costs 7 points. The 510 costs 16. The biggest difference being the cannon on the 510, the warrior. Armour wise, I'm just looking at the difference there. The warrior has got a little bit better armour, and obviously it's got the autocannon, which makes a big difference. So what we'll have 4 432s. Now I can't put them in the force on their own. They've got to have something with them to actually transport. So they are going to transport 4 infantry units, one of which is going to be my headquarters. Now I always, when I'm doing this, tend to try and use real world organisations, and the British platoons had 3 sections and then a command group in the last warrior. So we've got that. Now infantry are very expensive in the game because they cost 33 points each, which is an awful lot of points. Let's change that for one that doesn't fall apart before I glue it. And I'm going to put 2 of them in because I'm also going to put the maximum number of support units in. So we've got 2 Milan teams as well now. Now that is a full-fledged army. That's plenty to play a game with. You're basically playing with 2 full platoons, 1 mechanised, 1 armoured, supported by a recce troop and a couple of regimental assets of anti-tank missiles on top. The only other thing I'll probably add in later games is an anti-aircraft system. Now the British, you really don't have a lot of choice with this, I'm afraid. You have the option of the Rapier tracked, you don't have the towed one in the standard rules, or you can have the Chieftain Marksman. Now the Chieftain Marksman was one that never actually got adopted. But if you want to use it, there's no reason you can't. And just to add a little bit of fun to my force, I'm actually going to include an objective. Wolfgang's Bratty Wagon, always a popular object, and that means that I've then got something to put on the table as an objective. And there we go, we've got a basic starting wargaming army there. You don't need a huge amount, and you build it up in stages. Hope that's been useful, and I'll see you soon for another video.